What's up, y'all? Ooh, I'm about to go down. I'm about to go down. Um, oh Lord. Ooh, how about I hold the camera right? That would be a good start. Sorry, y'all backlit. Y'all will stop being backlit in just a second. I'm walking back here to the greenhouse. So, um, what I wanted to talk to y'all today about is did y'all see that post I posted about the documentary about Emma Dupree? Did y'all see that? Let me say this. If y'all have not watched that, please, please, please do me a favor and block out some time. Even if you don't just watch it, even if you just listen to it, um, go and listen to that. I shared that video with y'all because um, that video really, really resonated with me because that woman reminded me a lot of my, reminded me a lot of my granny, um, and my granny wasn't a herbalist per se. Hey, Chrissy. But she knew a lot of things and what you could use them for and stuff like that. Just a lifetime of gaining knowledge. Hey, baby, we're going to go in the greenhouse. You want to go sit in the greenhouse with me? Come on. Come on. Or we may just sit out here. It's nice. Because sometimes it be hot in the greenhouse. I may need to open. Anyway, so, yeah, we may just sit. Come on, Christy. Let's just sit out here. We get to Chase Lounge. We'll sit in the sun, okay? Is that all right by you? Y'all bear with me. I got to get all the little leaves and things off the Chase Lounge. Child, these little lawn chairs I got from the auction, baby. These little chairs, these done come in handy. Ooh, yes, indeed. Okay. Give me a little tan. Try to be one color all over. I'm probably 8 colors. Anyway, so, oh, excuse me. Y'all like my Bayou Classic shirt? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, that woman reminded me a lot of my granny. She knew, and I'm gonna tell you who else she reminded me of. I don't know if y'all remember a long time ago. It was a channel I shared with y'all. This woman that was canning out of Georgia. Her name was I can't remember, the something lady, 1956 or something. It was, I can't remember the name of her channel, but she was canned and she was talking about rabbit tobacco and mullein and stuff like that. So she knew a lot of the stuff, what to use. And I don't know, somebody contacted me and said they had been looking for her. They didn't even see her on Facebook anymore. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. That lady may have passed. And that's, and that's getting on to what this video is about. So the age that I am, so many people, the elders are gone. Like I don't have any grandparents anymore. They're all gone. And as time goes on, the only thing that's happening is more and more of these elders are leaving the earth. And these elders, some of them have a lot of wisdom and knowledge about things. Now, some elders, they're just like people in my generation, dumb as rocks. And they have value for something. But these elders that have this wisdom about what to use to heal you and what to use, how to cook certain things and things like that. Because what I really liked about that documentary, and yeah, there are herbalists on here, and I'm not trying to shade these new herbalists, but y'all really ain't even linking all the chains. I'm just gonna go on and be real and tell you, you're not linking all the chains. And that's why I shared that documentary, because when that woman started talking, and she started talking about how, yeah, back in the day, we used to get our water from a well, and the water was purified. I don't think enough people really truly understand. And let me say this, as a person who has a wildlife degree, which is at my institution is Right after I graduated, they turned it into environmental science. That's technically what that degree was. You studied how the environment worked. You studied how wildlife interacted with the environment. You studied all the different parts and pieces and how they went together. And one thing that was very groundbreaking when I was there is I got to participate in an EPA grant that was millions of dollars. And what that EPA grant was doing was looking at the different watersheds. And for those that don't really know what a watershed is, so a watershed is yeah, baby, you want to get in my lap? Come on. Yeah, hold on. I got a visitor, Chris's. He calling. When they be calling, you have to say something because they claw you. Anyway, watersheds are the water. Okay, a watershed, like for instance, where I live is covered by one particular watershed. And what that is when rain rains down onto the earth, it goes to the ground becomes saturated. Well, that water does not just stop. It does one or two things. Once the ground is saturated, that water very, 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 very slowly trickles down deep into the earth. And it goes down really far. You have what's called underground aquifers, or streams or rivers, if you will, up under the ground where this water percolates, and it has to go through the topsoil, the next layer. It may be rock, depending on where you are. Like in places in Tennessee, it goes down through limestone. So when you hear my moonshiners talk about they're going up in the mountain and they got to find these streams where this water is coming down from the mountain through that limestone, what the earth does is it naturally filters that water. So as it filters that water, when it gets way up underground, when you dig a well and you hit one of those underground aquifers or streams or rivers or whatever, however you want to think about it, when you hit one of those, understand that water has passed all the way through the earth. Well, not all the way through, completely through, but it has passed through a whole lot of stuff that helps to filter it. And so therefore, when you get that water, it's more or less clean. Now, let me say this. Because of man-made things and a lot of things that we got going on, it's still not going to be like it was like when my great-grandmother and my grandmother had wells. Also understand this too. All of my grandparents were from the country. They moved to the city for job opportunities and things of that nature. If I go out to the country in East Texas in my great-grandmother's well, hey, her house still runs on a well to this day. The only difference is sometime in the 70s or the 80s, they got a pump on it, so they didn't have to throw a bucket down there no more. Y'all, for those of y'all who old enough to remember, you get your water out the well, you had to throw that bucket down over there and reel that bucket back up. You had a rope on it. And then sometimes you'd have a bucket full of water with a dipper, and you dip. My grandmama still, when I was coming up, that was where she drank her water a lot of times. And anybody know that water out of that well was so cool. It was just cold, cold, cold. And that water out of that well would be sweet. It would be sweet tasting. Now, it depends on where you at, depending on what the water, but in the country where my granny was, where my great-grandmother's house is, I don't know what kind of rocks or clay or whatever was in that ground to make that water sweet like that. Ooh, that water would be so good. And I would just be out to the well. They couldn't find me. I'd be out there drinking. And my great-grandma said, "Girl, you out here in this well house. You're drinking up all the water. We ain't gonna have..." But that's because I grew up in the city and the water out the tap didn't taste like that. You know what I mean? So when that lady started talking about the water coming through these pipes and all this different kind of stuff, and she also even went as far as to say, even when you got a pump on your well back in the day, they used iron pipes. And if you know anything about iron don't really leach anything into your water. It gives you a few little iron molecules break off in there, but it's very rare. Just like when you cook with iron, cast iron, a little bit of iron, but iron is not, in that form, in that minuscule amount, is not bad for you. So, think about back in the day when they was cooking in iron cast iron. The pipes was all iron. If your stuff, versus now, especially like my house was built in the 50s, right? So that's what they speculate, but it doesn't have to be just 50s. It can be any time between World War I and World War II, because you have to understand what was going on in the country during those wars. Both times, most metal production and a lot of other productions went to the war. But that don't mean that you stop building stuff or needing stuff in your country. So what they was doing was they was using galvanized, or they was using these other metals. And when she started talking about, you look at those pipes and you see all the rust in the pipe, that's exactly what galvanized do. And then you think about that water, and people for I don't know how long been drinking that water. They want to talk about Flint. Yeah, it was horrible. And they had lead pipes. We ain't gonna get into when they started doing lead pipes, water coming through that, and we all know lead poisoning is a real thing. But you have to think about galvanized too. Your water coming through those pipes, and those pipes are rusting from the inside out. And that's not a knock on old houses. It just, I replumbed my house, so I knew that. But when she started talking about all those things, and she talked about how the meat ain't raised like how it used to be raised, and people aren't cooking the way they used to be cooking, and she started talking about how people not cooking, not putting enough herbs and stuff in your food. And I see this stuff on Instagram, and this stuff comes full circle. I see this stuff on Instagram where they keep, Chrissy, I put you in my lab. You're not gonna sit here and pluck on me. You're not gonna sit here and pluck on me. I'm not a guitar. I'm sorry, y'all. Anyway, when you hear these people on Instagram and stuff, and if y'all ain't seen the posts after I said watch, you're gonna start seeing them. I don't look for these posts. Instagram, the algorithm sends me stuff. They keep talking about people not seasoning. And when I say seasoning, I ain't talking about salt. That's where people mess up. I was talking to the Wahite, the neighbor next door. And she was eating something, and she said, ooh, no, she had gone to a restaurant. And she said, ooh, and everything was just so, it just tasted so. And I said, yeah, it's called seasoning. And the other people in the room fell out laughing. And she was like, well, no, it was like everything had a nice spice. Seasoning. I said, seasoning ain't just salt and pepper. You've got to stop thinking that seasoning is salt and pepper. You've got to stop. You've got to stop. When people eat my cooking, do I put salt in my food? Yes, I do. Do I put a lot of salt? No, I do not. Because if you notice, when I made those gumbo zerbs, I didn't put not one grain of salt in there because I had used smoked turkey meat. Smoked turkey meat already got salt in it. That tasso already got salt. You don't need no salt. You don't need no salt in there. It's already salty. However, what did I put in there? Onion, garlic. You got to put your herbs in your stuff. Put rosemary, put sage, you got to season your stuff. That's why it don't taste like nothing. That's why people don't want to eat at the house too. That's why these kids won't eat. That's why you wonder why, oh, he's a picky eater. No, you just can't cook. That's all it is to it. Because I used to wonder why growing up, I never had a problem eating anything. Oh, I forget. My grandparents used all that. They used every last bit of that stuff. When I see a gardener and they ain't really growing no onion and no garlic, not trying to be funny, I already know you can't cook. I'm just being honest. You can't cook. You're not going to cook the way I need it to taste. Because onion and garlic is step one for seasoning for me. That's the first layer of the flavor. I don't care what it is. And not only does that, onion and garlic is good for you. Onion and garlic is good for you. These herbs, sage, and I saw, who was that? Clausen World planting her some marjoram, and I need to plant me some. When I tell y'all about the black mint, when I tell y'all about, I try to tell you, when I keep rosemary, I keep thyme. Aisha done sent me some oregano. I need to sow those seeds today. You see what I'm saying? Cuban oregano, all these different things. Please, y'all, don't just be gardening and you're not thinking about your health. All of this stuff ties in together. You have to eat good. So you need to be putting this stuff in there. When the woman showed the pork salad, that just did it. Something come over me. Because so many people is scared of pork. They act like they don't want to touch it. Okay, keep playing these games. And that woman in that video was 82 years old, and she didn't look a day over 60. Didn't look a day over 60. If it wasn't for the gray hair, not a wrinkle in her face, but that woman been eating off the land her whole life. And more or less, I got away from it. I ain't gonna lie to you. In college, I got away from it because I was away from my grandparents, living on campus, this, that, and other. And I was in an environment when I couldn't grow my food. And I'm gonna tell you, college, Yeah, I was young, but when I look back on it, those were some times when honestly I felt the most unhealthy. I used to get sick easier. I'm hard to get sick. It's hard for me to, when I get sick, child, something come over me because I'm hard to get sick. I couldn't really get sleep how I wanted. It was just a lot of, now I don't have them problems. But I eat out of my garden every day. Don't matter what it is, just a little this, a little that. So y'all watch that, because she talked about some plants and stuff that even I need to. I have mullein seeds in there. I'm going in there to sow my mullein today. I think I got some rabbit tobacco. I'm going in there to sow that today. See, can I get that to come up? I've got to have these things. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of time if you older, I don't trust you when you talking about you a herbalist. You ain't been around long enough and you don't know enough old practices to me. I know you can read stuff out of a book and stuff like that, but it's nothing like sitting up under an elder and having an elder to teach you something. And I'm going to take this time to say this here. If you have elders or you know elders that somewhat have some kind of wisdom, because we asked this question, oral traditions is a African tradition that is millennia old. Not hundreds of years, not thousands, goes probably tens of thousands, if not more, years old. The oral traditions of passing down your family legacy, how you do things, how you grow things, how you heal, all these different things. And people look at this stuff, oh, it's folklore, it's all this, oh, they just crazy. You know, when you hear people say, oh, well, take this and tie it up and put some vinegar on it and do this and you'll be fine. Then people look at you like you crazy. And then go to the store and get these pills and things that you don't know chronically over time as you use them, what they're going to do to you. This stuff, please don't look at these people like they're crazy. When you hear somebody say that, say, oh yeah, what else do you know how to do? And either take note, record, do whatever you have to do. Have your children sit around them. I find that people like me, see, I was the only child and my mother didn't allow me to hang with certain people in my family because, I ain't gonna lie, they ended up locked up, dead, in jail, you know. So she didn't allow me to hang around them. So I hung around a lot of older people. And to this day, I still, if I find an elder that got some wisdom, I will sit at their knee and get every bit of information till I can't get no more. I mean that. I mean that. I met a lady that was 90-something. She's 90 now. When I met her, she was 88. When I met that woman, and that woman's mind just as sharp, and she's sharp as a tack. And every little piece of wisdom she had to share with me, I sat there and listened. That don't mean do everything they say, but listen. Because if we don't curate and cultivate the information for the pass down, who gonna pass it down? These generations, now these kids dumb as rocks. You can go on the internet and read where they loud and wrong all across the internet, and that will be there till the end of time. And they don't see no problem with that. Zero. And I just look and say, Lord, have mercy. These children don't know anything. They need to sit at the feet of elders. That's what they need. They need to sit at the feet of elders who have some wisdom and who have something to bestow upon them. Whether it's about life, whether it's what most of my viewers do, gardening and herbal, and this is and how to stay healthy, and how, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember my great grandmother, them, when they died, they didn't die bedridden and stuff like that. They was getting around good. Nowadays, these people 40 years old talking about their back hurt. That's because you don't have sense enough to understand your body. A body that's not in motion will not stay in motion. It's like anything. Science will teach you that. An object at rest wants to stay at rest. An object in motion wants to stay in motion. I have news for you. You better get motivated to get in motion. These older people you see on YouTube moving good, you want to know why they're moving good? Because they don't never stop moving. They don't go to a day without some kind of moving. Now that blowing, that better not be for me. Oh no, they blowing at somebody else because I ain't got that. Y'all gonna have to get on. So I'm saying all that to say, if you didn't see my what they call it, community posts, If you didn't see my community post, go on my page and go to the community post. I know it's 40 minutes. Y'all also got to get some attention spans. But I found the 40 minutes went by fast, because when homegirl started going in her garden and showing you this is this and this is that, when she said you could take the horseradish leaves and put on you and it'll cut a fever. Said a child had been with fever and hadn't ate in a week and couldn't do nothing, and she said she took vinegar and horseradish leaves and put on the baby, and within some hours the baby was fine. Was not necessarily fine, but it cut that fever to where the child got up and finally wanted to eat something. Because see, I have news to tell you, when you sick and you lose your appetite, that's a sign. When your appetite returns, that means your body is on the mend. Your body is where it's I ain't gonna say just over it, but it's getting to where, okay, feed me. Because I almost got this licked and I need some calories to finish wiping it out, whatever it is. That's how I know when I see that. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if some of y'all see all this taking these medicines. My mama didn't give me all this stuff. I mean, you know, there's medicines for certain stuff, but sometimes don't take nothing and just listen to your body, and you can feel your body. When I get through sweating out a fever, after that, my appetite returns. And my body say, okay, I got you. I'm finna get on through this. But see, when you just take stuff and you don't have no symptoms and you don't feel nothing and you don't know what's going on. You don't even understand how it's supposed to work. See, people don't understand that. And that's why you have to live life and pay attention. People are not paying attention. But it's just, you know. But anyhow, I'm saying all that to say, please do whatever you can to try to, because I'm telling you, this next generation, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what my generation going to do, quite frankly, because most of the people in my generation are pea brains. So, you know, I don't know. Like I said, these older people is getting out of here, and these older people know how to do a lot of them. Like I said, you got some idiots out there. Let's enjoy them for what they, have, but let's get this information out of these older generations, because a lot of times they feel like the younger people don't want to hear it, and they take it into the grave with them, But a lot of times, if you just ask them, they'll tell you. They don't keep no secrets a lot of times. They'll tell you exactly how to do. And I'm going to tell you what's even better is if sometime you can get with them and have them show you how to do. That's even better. Because some of them, there's a lot of time they can't just tell you how to do, but they can show you, So, y'all take this little bit of information, go out in the world and try to do something with it. And hopefully somebody will see this video. And like I said, share the video, pass it on to somebody. Share that documentary, that lady. It's not hardly no black herbalists, especially not elder ones, that we have video evidence where they going out in their gardens and showing you. And they telling you the different people that they've healed. Because that's another thing. These people would want to, I do this and do that, and they can't tell you nothing about how they know what they know. They just talking about they know. Now I need some evidence. I need some evidence. So I ain't gonna hold y'all no longer. Till next time, see you guys later.